Oh, Miss Fatutu, I hadn't expected you to visit. I must say it's a welcome relief from the onslaught of greedy businessmen and boorish officials. All puff and no substance, bloated, lifeless. They remind me of a few specimens of decay from my collection.
Decaying specimens? Miss Grace, you mean body?
Hush. Let's just leave things at that. So then, you're here to talk about something else? Go ahead.
Yes, Miss Grace. I just wanted some advice, if you don't mind.
Not at all, my dear. We are friends, aren't we? We are venturing into the unknown, so it is little surprise that you feel lost. But disorientation is a dangerous enemy. I am more than happy to help. Relax and keep an open mind, dear. We have a long night ahead.
The thing is, I tried to ignore the outside world, just like you said, but I failed. The idea of raising a spear against people I know so little about, even if it was to avenge my home. I felt I had to learn more about these outsiders, to understand them. I'm sorry I went against your advice. I thought that learning about them would harden my resolve. I thought that I would hate them from the depths of my soul, that the hatred would be so strong that I'd feel no remorse, that I would see in them what you and Manus Vindictae do. But instead, after interacting with the people here,
But Tutu, my dear, there's no shame in having second thoughts. How could you not? This was but your first glimpse of a world so much wider than you knew. But you'll soon realize that it is nothing more than a dying corpse, its lungs still clinging on to its last breath. The face rots first, you know. It's a nasty scene, I assure you. Those shrinking, putrefying eyeballs are always a headache for taxidermists. Next, the chest cavity. It rots out from the inside, bloating with noxious gases produced by its decomposing flesh, until it's ready to pop like a party balloon. Even at this stage, if you were to hold your breath and look only to the limbs, you might marvel at the artisanship. Such a perfect creation. Yet it dies all the same. So it goes. Do you see the world any clearer now? Take your time. Think it through.
The outsiders are different from what I expected. Miss Grace, are you sure they're truly evil? Hmm?
They are cunning, menacing, and at times have even been known to engage in eavesdropping.
Miss Grace, watch out! It's some kind of monster!
Huh?
It's here! I'll protect you, Miss Grace!
Also got my enemies' wishes in my own way.
Хорошо.
Forward left!
Keep distance when socializing.
Ha! The eagle's eye.
What an awful racket you make! I dedicate this song to you. Please enjoy.
It's gonna break! It's gonna break! Forward left! Ha! Target locked.
It's just creepy.
My next performance, bubbles bursting.
Fine.
Keep distance when it's just creepy.
What an awful racket you make!
Oh, you deserve it!
Listen to the melodies of winds and waves.
Forward!
Calm down.
Left!
What an awful racket you make!
Mia byłaby szczęścia. Szczęście pomogło.
The triumph of the windless souls for sure.
Is it dead? Oh, it's you, Barcarola.
Miss Barcarola, what a pleasure to see you.
Have you lost your mind, Fatutu? I've been looking all over the ship for you to thank you for the lamps you made. This is a funny way of saying you're welcome. Not even the rudest student in Cremona would attack someone for saying thanks.
Cremona? Where's that?
That's really not what matters here.
Settle down, please, ladies. This was only a small misunderstanding, wasn't it? As both your captain and your friend, I hope that you might be able to resolve this. I do believe I could see you two becoming fast friends. Fatutu here is eager to learn about the outside world. And I'm sure you must have many stories to share, don't you? Consider it a favor, in exchange for those sea mother's eyes. Why don't you take a seat, Miss Barcarola? You were quick to gloss over your hometown. Cremona, wasn't it?
Cremona, the city of violins, as they say. See, I was born in that awful, dreary old place. But I don't like to talk about it, Miss Grace.
But it sounds like you still miss your home. So why speak of it that way? Is there something wrong with it? In Nicoteo, when we find something rotted in our village, we wrap it up in stinky grass and throw it in the ocean. Do you outsiders not do this as well?
Well, it's not completely rotted exactly. It's just... In Cremona, everything is bound up with the violin. How it's made, how it's played, even the science of it. It fills the air and every conversation. You can't walk to the trattoria without tripping over a virtuoso. They come from Rome, Berlin, London, New York, Nairobi, Tokyo, Uppsala, people from far and wide, all crammed into one town. Not a day goes by without a concert, a symphony, or a festival musicale.
Am I misunderstanding you? Because to the Nukatai, the idea of a place with music and festivals every day sounds very... fun.
That's where you're wrong, Signora. It's no fun at all. At least, for me. To be Cremonese is to take pride in its music, its history, and above all, its violins. And you must learn to love the violin, the viola, the violoncello, and the bass, because there is nothing else. Every quartet is a string quartet. Every concerto is Vivaldi. Strings, strings, strings. The monotony is unbearable. The world has so very many instruments as diverse and as varied as the people that fill it. Even the shell around your neck could sing if you knew just where to tap it. But not in Cremona. That's why I speak of it that way, Fatutu. Because if I had stayed there, I would never have seen the music of the world and its instruments, and my crackling box would never have been able to know their sounds.
The Nukatai don't have many instruments. Not so many as you anyway. But we were never bored with what we had. I'm certain that your island holds great beauty beyond its music. If ever we grow tired of singing and dancing, we'd go searching for shells or swimming in the reefs.
You still have much to learn about the world beyond your islands.
Then you have no intention of ever returning home, Miss Barcarola?
Return? No, never. They're too set in their ways, like old fossils. My vision of music grew beyond them, and I did too. I won't force myself back into their little world!
Your determination is admirable indeed.
Glad to hear it. Then my position is safe for another day.
How could it not be? You are the very star of the free breeze.
Uh-huh.
What about you, Miss Grace? You've never told us about your home.
It's a place of little interest to anyone. Not even worthy of naming.
They say a musician must be free of attachments to be truly creative. Perhaps this is true of captains as well.
No, that can't be right. The Nukutai believe that to stray from our home is the death of the spirit. If we travel too far and too long, our spirit shells develop cracks that no amount of Nuku glue can mend. And from these cracks come an intense sadness. The elders call it homesick.
Homesickness. See, we have this word as well. The sailors aboard often ask me to play the songs of their youth when they're missing their homes. So many different melodies. Thankfully, my crackling box has all kinds of instruments to suit their needs. I imagine it must be difficult for your people now. If you'd like, I could learn to play some of your songs and perform them. I'd be more than happy to help after all you've done.
That's kind of you. I'm sure it'll be of great help to us.
I'm more than happy to help, Patutu. It is my job after all.
It appears the sun has caught up with us, ladies.
Mamma mia! The concert! I promised Signora Regulus a rock and roll concert, but I haven't even asked her what instruments she needs. Ciao, ragazze!
Thank you for talking with us, Miss Grace.
Don't mention it. I only hope that it was helpful for you.
I have one last question. I was wondering, how do you stay so determined?